All right, guys, hey, welcome back. Okay, so we are kicking off. I'm just so grateful. When putting this event together, again, I stood here earlier and I told you that like wearing a shirt by myself is never my intention. Having a summit by myself is never my intention. Running a bod group by myself is never my intention. And I love that Ashley and Leah got to really kick off all of our trainings with this idea that your contribution to this community matters. And it's very evident when either you just sit there on the web and collect dust, or you leave the web and we notice, right? And the smallest things, the recognition, the reach outs, the meaningful interactions on a Win the Morning or whatever that is, getting on book club, just trying something new and just being uncomfortable for a second, that's where the reward comes. And so I'm really grateful that they were able to kick this off. But like I said, I don't just want to stand here by myself and give the messages. You know, this year it's been big on my heart to get new people in front of you and fresh voices and faces. And if you've been on our Monday night team trainings, like that has been my heart all year long. So when Summit was coming up, it was like no brainer that I have to ask the gals who paved the way for all of you guys, who you look up to, who inspire you, who are the ones creating what they crave, and then in turn, you know, motivating you guys to do the same. To ask them to take the mic from me. So Ashley and Leah, that's their forte, is like finding that success sister, clinging to it, not waiting for someone to assign you one, but just getting out there and saying, okay, who's on the same wavelength with me? Where do we have connections? Who can I rely on? And then just going and making that community happen, right? Next, we have this gem. Annie joined our team like last January, and then everything shut down as a teacher, and that's when she really it was her time to shine, and she took off. If you were part of our team last year around like the pandemic hitting, Annie was just there, like a steady, consistent person every morning, you know, getting on and doing her power hour, getting on and really like winning the morning. Like when you guys like, oh, Brittany created Win the Morning. No, people like Annie created Win the Morning. And then people like me had to step up and say, okay, wait, my team is doing something without me. I got to figure this out as a leader. And how do I make everyone come on board? And like Annie is the foundation of why Win the Morning is what it is now. But Annie took off, and she has always just been a light on social, somebody who I can go to if I just want to see a freaking smile, right? Like, you guys ever go follow Annie just because you want to see her smile? Thank you.
Best smile senior year.
You guys, she won best smile her senior year. Is anyone surprised?
In 8th grade, but
and in 8th grade, she's won best smile twice. That's so funny. But I'm just grateful for her example, but even more than that, her heart and her friendship. The fact that she's just there. Like every Saturday, I can count on her to be on book club with me. If I need her to take something from me and off my plate, she's always willing to do that. So just so grateful for you, Annie. And today she's going to pour into her topic, which I just think she shines in, which is social media. You guys all got a little taste of that on Monday. If you haven't watched that, go back and check it out, because this is going to inspire you for that. But today she's all about making your social media stand out. So as coaches, we're on our journey. That's like all y'all. You're on your journey. You check that off. We know that. How do we take that and now start sharing our journey? So Annie, take it away, girlfriend.
all right. This is not going to be a session where you cry. So there's a break for your tear ducts. It's going to be a big like note-taking, like how-to kind of session. So get your notebooks, get your phone, all the things. All right. Okay. So I'm a teacher, so I got to tell you the learning objectives before we get started.
There's no SOL after.
No SOLs. SOL is the Virginia Standards of Learning, the
not the
state testing. Okay. All those are aptly named. Okay, so we're going to talk about why social media is important to your business. We're going to talk about following, connecting, inviting. Oh my. You should have seen me talking with Brittany about this, because I was, presets. What are those? That's what we're going to focus on most. And then the bottom two, they're still on here because it was going to be part of this, but we decided to do it Monday, is the reels that I talked about Monday. So you can go back and watch that call for that. All right. Why is it important? Well, if you didn't know, Beachbody is network marketing. The network is literally a network of people, and social media is our best, easiest, fastest way to reach people out of our area, to reach people we don't know. It's literally social networking. Marketing is marketing you, marketing your story and your brand. Who are you? Who do you show up as? Who are you going to be to attract a network? So 3 things to build your story and your brand. You need to be on your journey. So if you're not already on a journey and not really diving into it, coach of self, you need to be on your journey. You need to share your journey. Don't shy away from sharing anything that is important to you on your journey, and then help others on their journey, which is obviously coaching others. Network marketing, social media includes both your warm market, which is people you already know. So your friends, your family, people from high school, people from college, people who you've had a relationship with, and an infinite cold market, which you can turn warm by following people, finding connections, just like, I don't remember his name. The guy talked about with, what was his name? Marcus. Sorry, Marcus. But social media was created to connect people. That's literally why it exists. So we need to use it because we are in a business of building relationships. Okay, so 3 things. If you've looked at the Beachbody activity tracker, the business activity tracker, or the tracker that Brittany put in the packets, these 3 things are really, really, really vital and important to building a business. Following people. If you don't follow people, you can't connect with people, and nobody's going to know who you are, and nobody is going to join you. You can talk to as many people as you want in your warm market, but if you don't expand that market, you're not going to grow. My favorite thing with following, the best way that I've found is important and also will get followers back, is staying close to the fire. So there's several different ways to stay close to the fire. Going to friends of friends. So finding a friend, maybe it's someone close to you, maybe it's someone who's a customer, but not a coach. Don't go to a coach's page because then you're stealing their market. Go to a friend, go through the people who are following them, and also liking and commenting on their stuff. Don't just go through their list and be like, follow, because I guarantee half of their follower lists haven't been on Instagram in 2021, and they're not going to see any of your stuff. So make sure you're scrolling through posts, and this also goes with the bottom one, which is common interests. So influencers, authors, anything that you like, Target, Starbucks, whatever, go to their pages and see who's interacting with them. Because if they're interacting, that means they're on social media. So if they follow you or you show up on their explore page, they're actually going to see you. If they're not interacting with anything on social, they're probably not on social. They probably made the Instagram and forgot about it. I like to keep 1 degree of separation, whether it's a person, like a friend of a friend, or a common interest. So I'm not going to go into like I followed a bunch of Disney people when I was in Disney earlier this summer. I'm not going to go to a person and follow that person and then look at their page and then go to another post and get in this deep hole because I'm probably not going to have anything in common with them. So stay like, I can pinpoint how I got to this person and I can connect with them because of this, whether it's a person or a common interest. Connecting, like I said before, social media was created for people to connect, not just people who already know each other. It was built for people to find other people. So stop being afraid to use it. Okay. So often people are, and I was one of these people, you can ask Amanda Stone. I was so afraid to follow people I didn't know. So terrified. One time on our old team, Amanda and I were sitting on a team call and she said, I want you to go follow 10 new people. And Amanda and I were both like, I can't do that. I can't do that. And now I literally follow 50 people a day because that's what social media was created for. It was not, it's created to also keep up with people, but also to form new connections. You'll get ignored. You will, because not everybody's nice like us and it's fine, but you'll get ignored. But I want you to look around the room and see how many people did not ignore someone. And you at home, look around the screen and look around here and see how many people did not ignore and look at the connections that we now have. Raise your hand. I don't know how this is going to go. We'll see. Raise your hand if the person that you are here because of, you knew off of social media. Like you knew them before they contacted you. Okay, yeah. Okay, but like, look, there's hands that they didn't know the person outside of social media before they joined, and you're here.
Well, so you're talking about the hands that are down are the ones that didn't.
Raise your hand if you
Found them on social media.
Yeah, I said raise your hand if you knew the person before social media.
Yeah.
So the ones who didn't have their hands raised were found on the air.
The ones who didn't raise their hand, yeah.
See, we're paying. And it's like.
Okay, but there are so many people on our team, there are so many people online, there are so many people in this room who got here because someone reached out to them on the internet. And that's what social media is for. That's the power of social media. I mean, all the stories from earlier today, it's because someone reached out to you using social media. Maybe you got a phone call if it was a close friend or a text, but most of it is Instagram or Facebook. Inviting. Does it? Raise your hand if you've ever thought inviting is impossible. Inviting feels so scary and so impossible.
Every hand should do that.
Amen. Okay. Ask yourself these questions when you have that thought. Have you connected with that person? Have you followed that person? Have they followed you back? Have you liked a post? Have you messaged them from a story just saying like cute dress? Or have you commented on a post? Because if you haven't, it feels really impossible to invite that person because you have no reason to pop into their inbox. Well, they feel you have no reason to pop into their inbox and they're a lot more likely to ignore you. Are you being real? Not R-E-E-L, R-E-A-L. All right, when you talk on your stories or when you talk in a reel or whatever, is that you? Or is that what you think you should be to be able to invite people? Are you sharing your story authentically? Or are you trying to put yourself on this pedestal so that they look up to you and want to join you because of that? Because if you're trying to make yourself unreal, like impossibly like perfect, no one's gonna want to join you. Like they might want to join you, but they're never going to be comfortable to talk to you because you seem unreal. And lastly, are you matching what your page feels like? When they come to your page and when they see you talking or when they see you messaging in their inbox, does it all go together? Because if you're just using a script that Britt puts on the page or Leah puts on the page and you haven't adjusted it to sound like you, it's not going to match you. It's not going to match how you talk in your stories. It's not going to match how you talk when you go live. It doesn't match. So they're not going to trust you. I wouldn't trust somebody I don't trust people who send me those messages and it's like very, very generic. And then I go to their page and I'm like, she didn't type that. So scripts are great. Scripts are great as a template. But I'll look around and none of us talk the same or sound the same or look the same. So we shouldn't be saying the exact same things. So if you can answer those 3 questions with yes, invite them. Okay, especially if they followed you back, especially if they have answered you from a different connection. If you've messaged them and say, hey, where did you get that dress from? And you started a conversation. It doesn't have to be right away. Don't say like, hey, where'd you get that dress from? Oh, I got it from Target. Hey, do you want to join my fitness community? Like, don't do that. But if you're creating relationships and you're connecting, it's going to flow naturally into, this is what I do. This is part of my life. If you're sharing your life with that person, this is part of your life. So it naturally leads into an invite. Oh, at the bottom, this is probably the most important part. Raise your hand if you have 50,000 followers on Instagram. Raise your hand if you have 10,000 followers on Instagram. Raise your hand if you have a K next to your number of followers on your Instagram.
Oh.
Fancy. Okay.
She worked for that K, y'all.
Yeah.
I like feeling really
Okay.
relieved at the moment.
So none of us have like outrageous numbers of followers, but look at this room. Look at the list of people on the computer. Look at the list of people in the Facebook group. You don't have to have thousands of followers. If you have 50 people following you, that is 50 people you can invite and they might say yes. Like if you have relationships with the 50 people following you and you've connected with the 50 people following you and you've shown up for those people and they see your consistency, that's 50 people. And that's a pretty big team. So you don't have to have 5,000. You don't even have to have 1,000 or 500 followers because 50 people is huge. So don't get inside your head of like, oh, well, I'll never be able to do that because they have 10,000 followers, or I'll never be able to do that, because you don't need it. You just need people. And I'm pretty sure none of you have 0 followers, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have at least 5 followers that you could be inviting and adding to your team. I get really fired up about that, sorry. Okay, presets, what are those? Okay, raise your hand if you've heard of presets. Raise your hand if you use a preset. Raise your hand if you know how to use a preset. Okay, cool. So basically, presets are just to make your social media look more attractive and appealing, because we all know, even though we may not work in advertising, you're attracted to things that look nice. You're attracted to clean things, not like all over the place. It just, you want to look at it more. So this is my Instagram feed. This is when I first started coaching. Fun fact. Same picture over and over again. That's before presets. I did not have presets. I've got like some like light pictures, some like darker pictures, really random like foliage and stuff. On the right is more recent. And that's using a preset. All of those pictures have a preset.
But you're not talking a preset on Instagram.
Nope.
You're talking like Lightroom, like the app.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, and we'll get there.
No,
But
I knew
so
you, I just was
This is
confused.
a feed before I used presets.
Okay.
This is a feed after I used presets.
Do you?
We'll talk about that.
So can you?
We're gonna talk about presets, I promise.
Okay, I'm like, I don't.
And
know
I
what this
promise
is.
after we talk about presets, you can ask any questions you want,
Okay, sorry.
but I just want you to see.
Okay.
No, it's okay. I just want you to see how the feed looks entirely before we talk about specific presets. So I'm more likely to scroll through the right just because it looks brighter, it looks cleaner, it looks, the colors flow together nicely, as opposed to here's a dark picture, here's a light picture, here's whatever. Okay, we got to what are those? Here's a single picture example. Okay, that's a great picture, like the purples really pop, but that doesn't go with my page. That's not going to flow nicely with my other pictures. I go to the preset, it's light, airy, that's the vibe of my page. That's gonna flow. I also really love that picture. Oh, I stopped there. Okay, so presets. I wanna show you how to use the Lightroom app, and I'm gonna talk about my presets while we're looking at the Lightroom app. But basically you buy them. They have free ones, but they're not like gonna look professional. They're not gonna look clean cut. I just wouldn't recommend them. They have some from $3 to a bundle for $80. Okay. I have a bundle of about 8 to 10 presets that all have the same vibe. They don't do the same thing to every picture, but they all are cohesive. So this preset might look different on a picture that I took out there, and I want them to flow together. So when I take a picture, I'm going to go through my bundle of presets to see what flows best with my page. Does that make sense? So the answer to the same preset question is no. And you can, but like Kristen texted me a couple weeks ago and asked about, like, she had one preset and was talking about how it looked different on one picture than the other. And that's what's going to happen because it's just adjusting like the highlights and the exposure and stuff. So if I take a picture inside versus that where it's a sunny day, one preset is going to look different on each of them. So get out your phone. Get out your phone, go to the Lightroom app. I'm gonna share my phone with you guys. Mm-hmm.
It should be right next to you.
I have it, but I haven't used it for so long. I had to stand my head really loud.
Oh, I did do that before.
Oh.
And see, she was like, make sure you're not using it correctly, or to its fullest. That's fine.
Oh, thanks there for rocking my ethos. Brittany, can you help me?
It's the one L. I think it's just, it says.
It comes up, but then it says, of course now it's going to do it now that you're up here.
Yeah, no, I think that's.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep. Thanks. I need the magic touch. Yep. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Mine's gonna look different than yours because I already have stuff in it. Everybody at home, good with pull out your phone, get the Lightroom app open. Okay, so the bundle that I bought, and I'm pretty sure this is standard for any creator of preset. Like people, this is their job. Like they sell preset. Like that's why I would always buy one, not get a free one, because she makes a living off of creating presets for pictures. So I have a bundle, and the way that she works it is it's Nicole Digi, which I'll tell you later. But when you buy them, she sends you a link in an email with all the directions to put the presets into Lightroom. So it's not like rocket science. This girl, which I assume most professionals do, put the directions in there. Once they're in there, I'm gonna pick a picture. We'll do this one that Leia took of me earlier. Okay, so once they're in there, you can, if you want to do your camera roll and just pick a picture. You're not going to be able to do the presets because you haven't bought them yet, but I want to walk you through how you would do it. So you can let it add from your camera roll and just pick a random picture. And obviously they have all the things that Instagram has with like adjusting the light, doing auto light, whatever, effects, color, all those things. But you don't have to worry about that if you have a preset. So there's a button at the bottom once you have a picture on there that says presets. When you click that button, the Lightroom presets come up. These are like, some of them I think you might have to pay for. Does anybody need help getting a picture on there and getting this?
Oh, I know, you gotta because I know
Yeah, you can just watch too if you don't want to look at it on your phone. But probably if you don't have an iPhone, you might want to look on your phone, because I don't know if it looks different. So Lightroom has some, but they're like the ones that like Instagram has, where like they're like really drastic, like no pool is that blue, like that's weird. So I never use Lightroom ones. But once you get them into the Lightroom app, if you look at the bottom, you can save your own presets. You could even create a preset if you want. If you want to adjust the light and shadows, whatever, you can save it as a preset and call it whatever you want. But once you get the professional person's presets into Lightroom, you can save them as user presets. So when I open up user presets, I have 7 saved from the bundle. And I would take this picture and I will literally click every preset. Okay. I'm going to click this. Okay. That's close to my feed. A little brighter. See how they're like just slightly changing, but you guys want to help me pick a preset for this? So all of them are super similar, but they all did something like slightly different to this picture, which means the preset I use on this picture is probably going to look different on a different picture. But since these are all very similar, they're all going to give the same vibe on my page. Does that make sense?
Will you hold down on your photo and show the original?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Look at the original now.
Wow, overall.
Oh.
See
This is huge,
Yeah.
y'all. This is huge for your.
When you look at Brittany's Instagram or you look at my Instagram and you say, wow, like, is that a professional like photographer? It's my iPhone with a preset. Okay. Like this is what influencers use. This is what, like, if you go to a coach on another team or a top coach or whatever, and you look at their page and you're like, wow, like, I wish I had a camera like that. You do, you have a phone. You just need the preset. Okay. So like, seriously, do it. But no, really just do it. But it's that easy. Then let's say I want that one. There at the top, there's a check mark. Oh, well, you can't see down here, but just kidding. Hold on. There's a check mark at the top right. That's to save it into Lightroom. And then if you click the little like share one, that's on a lot of different apps with the box with the little arrow, you can save it to your camera roll. So it's that easy. Once you have the presets in there, you just click through the presets and say, oh, I like that one on my picture, save it, put it on the Instagram. I think that's it for like general preset things, but I will take any questions. Does anybody have questions about presets in Lightroom specifically? Good question. Okay, I mean, you could literally like, you can Google like presets or Lightroom presets. There is an app that's Lightroom presets that's free, but again, free ones are not going to be great.
Yeah, they're not that good. I've tried using the free ones for a long time.
Yeah, if you could Google it. If you follow like influencers or follow like top coaches, like I got my bundle because one of the top coaches that I follow was like had a discount code and there was like a sale. And I love how her page looks. So I was like, oh, well, I'll get those because it's on sale and she has a code. So a lot of times influencers, like several tens of hundreds of thousands of followers, will share because they usually get a promo code to share with their followers because they're usually making money off of it. So that's how I got mine. But you also, I mean, you can just Google it and you'll be able to tell by their website if they're like legit, like they do this for a living, or if this is like, oh, I adjusted these knobs and added to your picture.
Etsy has them too,
Mhm.
and I've gotten them, but I have them, but I don't know how to install.
I can help you. But here, let me see if I can. I'm never gonna find it.
Can
Never
you
mind.
share the ones that you?
Yes. I'm gonna type it in the chat for them.
Also, while you're typing, can I ask a question of you and Brittany?
Yeah.
Do either of you use presets on all of your stories?
No, you can't,
You can't, I mean, you have to.
Well,
unless you
I'll
uploaded
save
a
it.
picture.
And then I'll like save it and then read it.
I always look for like the filters that if I'm in somebody else's account and I'm like, oh, I love that filter like that they're using. It's just like saving a song when you see a reel. I just click on, I use Beach Babe a lot. That's the one I like. And you have to find what fits. Like, so full disclosure, you guys, I've spent way too much money on presets. It's embarrassing to tell you how much money I've probably spent looking for the right one. Even to the point that I have the right one that I've always used. And then I saw Annie's and I got like a little jealous of her look. And so I was like, ooh, let me buy that one. And then I bought the whole bundle and paid good money for that bundle. It's a great bundle. And it just doesn't fit my color and my aesthetic and my vibe and my skin tone. That's a big one too, is your skin tone. And like, do you want to look tan or does that look awkward on you when you have like, do you look like a spray tan, right? Like, you know what I mean? And so you do have to play a little and be willing. So I'm not like suggesting you go out and like put in lots and lots of money, but I do suggest that you start trying to find what works for you, because it's been years of me trying and like searching and, oh, I love the way hers looks in, so let me like see if that fits. Nope, it doesn't. Okay. There is a trial and error to it.
Yeah. Well, and also on that note, like the coach that I follow, she's my favorite. I'm obsessed with her and I want to be her. But she has my exact same hair color. Like we have a similar skin tone, like her, like the coloring in her house, like her walls and stuff are like similar to mine. So it made sense that those would work for me as well. Are you pulling it up?
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at this real quick.
Because like colors were similar in what we do. This is Nicole Digi, I think Digi. This is what I have. I think the bestsellers bundle. Yes, $67, but I have 7 presets. I've been using them for a year and a half and I'm not gonna stop. Like I love how my feed looks. There's like 2 or 3 I never use, but there's 7 or 8 that I always use. But I mean, she has like this one. There's like 2 or 3 in there. It's $37, but she also does sales a lot. So maybe like subscribe to her emails. And I mean, it's all about what you want to spend. Like if you don't want to spend this much on presets, if you just want to like get a single preset and see like how the lighting of that one looks, Etsy, Google, find another preset creator. Because this is just one that goes with me, but not ever, like if you want a dark vibe on your page, sure. Just find somebody that has a darker preset. But yeah, you can see, like you can tell this girl, like she does it. Like you can see in the pictures that she, what, $15?
Yes, I bought hers, the all
Are you
31
coming or not?
preset for $60. And it's like
Yeah, this is who I.
35
And then you
presets.
always
yeah, you always have them. It's
Yeah.
not like
If there's
next
set
year I
on
gotta.
those words.
Mhm.
I have
Yeah.
it.
So I did, because I remember emailing you or texting you, talking to you about
You're
this
saying
like
that
a year ago.
Mhm.
And you gave me her name. I went in and I have presets. But yet, looking at, say, for example, our group photo picture we took last night, when I click on each of those presets, to my eyes, the picture looks exactly the same. Like, it's
Okay,
not changing at
let me
all.
I'll pull
So
it up.
I wonder if I downloaded them wrong, or
It's
I
like
did
you're-
something wrong to try and make it happen.
Um,
I'm overthinking it, so I know.
Can you
it's
bring your
simpler
phone
than
up?
this.
where did Zoom go?
Ridiculous, you guys. This is, I use Alexa Jean.
I bought
is what
I don't know
got.
how to
The
get
one
back
I
to
use, I
Zoom.
don't see
So
on
that's
here,
the
but
picture.
I'm
That's the
sure she's just.
original.
Oh, yeah, you
updating
didn't
it.
save them.
But they're normally
They are
75, just have
I'll
50,
help you.
like, come
Okay,
on.
thank you.
You-
So it's not my eyes.
No.
So I have it on my iPad. I don't know that I can find it with Android carries or Lightroom. Or will I have to only use it on my iPad?
I think
But
it's
at
on
the turn of
everything.
the year, she
Okay.
put
Yeah, I
everything
think
on
so.
there.
That's what,
And
I
she
think
was
that's
looking
where
for a new
I
one,
got
and she's
shut,
like-
is I found a sale on Etsy and I've got like a couple of them for like $2 or $3. They were
Uh-huh.
really dirt cheap.
Yeah,
But all
2021.
the instructions were like for iPad.
Okay.
And I was like,
Yeah, let me see. How do I get back to? It doesn't matter.
They probably email.
That is important.
Yeah, I can show you what I get.
Yeah, no, he emailed, she emailed me, which I always check it wrong.
Yeah, I'll show you what I got.
And she has instructions on there to show you.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay, so if I send this to her, she can send it to me.
She's she would actually start right away, and then you have a certain amount of downloads.
And you guys, while she's getting this,
So
up there,
this is the
this is
biggest
awesome
thing.
for your
Make
business,
sure
it
your
makes
phone
your
is not
team feel
glitching
better.
out.
But like, this is just awesome for your family, when you take family photos and you're trying to put them in a scrapbook nowadays, and you don't want like dark images, right? Like, this is just a great way to have like good family vacation photos, you know, so it's a great investment, to look like you're a professional photographer, you don't.
Yeah. No, I like that.
I need you to come close to the computer again.
Oh, is it my expertise?
Yeah.
My vibe?
Maybe it's your phone. I don't know. Yeah, it didn't happen that time.
And I would alternate between those, like, so for instance.
Okay.
She said she's gonna have a photo.
Yeah.
So, like,
Ah!
I did my head.
Oh, heavens.
This is
Oh,
not my head.
God.
And then I added my-
Okay.